Alright, so I told you guys I'd start making some videos. Hopefully, if you're struggling with anything that we're doing in class, just watching these might help, because I will go step by step. First one, we're just solving an equation. And whenever I have a number outside of parentheses and it's touching the parentheses, like this 6, it's touching the parentheses, it means this number right here, the number outside, it multiplies everything on the inside. So if it helps, draw arrows. So this 6 multiplies by that 6b, and it multiplies the 8. It hits everything that's inside the parentheses. So 6 times 6b is just 36b. And then 6 times 8 is just 48 equals, and I bring down the negative 132. And again, this equal sign, it's important. A lot of you guys don't think it's important. Y'all just sort of stop writing it once you start. It's important. It needs to be there along every step of the way. So now I've gotten rid of the parentheses. There's nothing more I can do over here. I cannot put these together. These are not like terms. This has a b, this doesn't. So I've done everything that I can do over here. There's nothing to do with this negative 132. So now it's time for me to start moving stuff across the equal sign. And I'm trying to get everything away from my letter. This b is what I'm trying to get by itself. I want that b all by itself. And over there next to the b, I have this plus 48. And I have this 36 that's being multiplied by the b. And I'm trying to get everything on the other side. I want the b all by itself. Notice this negative 132 is already all by itself. So if you want, some people like drawing a line. I don't typically draw the line, but if you want, this equal sign is what determines the side. I want this equal sign basically is the divider. I want my letter on one side of that pen, and I want every other number on the other side of that pen. So again, some people like drawing a line. I typically don't, but if it helps you. So I want to get rid of this plus 48. I don't want this plus 48 here. So how do I undo a plus 48? I minus 48. And whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other side. I got to keep it balanced. If I subtract 48 from this side, I have to subtract 48 from this side. So now this plus 48 and this minus 48, well, they just add up to 0. So plus 48 minus 48, they go away, because if I add them up, it adds up to 0. So all I have left over here now is this 36b. And on the right hand side, I now have negative 132 minus 48. That looks to me like it is negative 180. And again, I need to continue the equal sign. The equal signs don't disappear, they don't go away. So now, look, I started off with 6b, and 8. I had parentheses. I multiplied it out. Then I had two terms over here. I moved the plus 48. Now I only have one term over here. So now I have 36b equals negative 180. This 36 is attached to the b. They're touching each other. Whenever that happens, that means multiplication. This 36 is multiplying the b. And to get a number off of a letter when it's being multiplied, I always do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So if this is doing 36 times b, to get that 36 off of the b, I need to divide. And again, if I divide the left-hand side by 36, I must divide the right-hand side by 36. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Now 36 divided by 36, well, that's just 1. 36 divided by 36, that's just 1. And 1 times b is just b. That's why those basically just sort of disappear. That's what I wanted. I wanted the letter by itself, but that's why it goes away. Because 36 divided by 36 is just 1, and 1 times b is just b. Bring down the equal sign like I always do, and then I can go to my calculator if I want to, and I can do negative 180 divided by 36, and it should give you negative 5. Now, I can stop there, but I'm going to encourage you, if you're struggling at all, to plug this negative 5 back into my original equation. If I plug in negative 5 for b, if I plug in negative 5 times 6, and then I add 8, and then I multiply by 6, does it give me negative 132? And if it does, then I know that I am right. And there will be some problems on this first quiz that we're going to take maybe next week, that is not just going to make you solve it, it is going to then ask you to double check by putting in the answer and confirming that it is in fact the correct answer.